One of my favorite comments I ever read on my videos is when somebody tells me that my content is peak unemployment and I need to go get a job. Brother, have you seen my content? I work literally everywhere. Okay, honestly, this is a fair comment because over the past 2 years, I feel like I've slowly became the unemployed friend that sends Instagram reels all day to my other friends. That gets to just work from home and not really like worry like a normal 9 to 5 would. And I feel like right now is a really hard time for a lot of people to get jobs, and I thought that I would tell my story today of how I eventually was able to find my job and will hopefully inspire some of the people that are on the hunt right now. Because back then, I'm not gonna lie, I was really lost. I mean, I'm still sort of lost, but at least now I feel like I'm going in the right general direction. And so I want to tell you guys about 3 jobs that I've had in my life and how eventually I ended up working at those jobs and it ended up working out for me, and why I think it'll work out for you too if you're doing the right things. So my first job ever was of course at Subway. I started at Subway when I was 15 and my parents owned the shop, so obviously that really helped with getting the job. I know that a lot of you won't have parents that own a Subway, but if you're looking for a first job, I think that working fast food or something in that sort of service industry realm would be a great start. And a good way that you could probably find a job is to see if anyone at your school has parents that own their own business or restaurant, and ask that person at your school if their parents are looking to hire. This is actually how my parents hired a lot of people at the Subway that worked with me in my teens, and it was actually pretty cool because a couple of my friends actually worked with me on shift, and it made my job a lot easier and a lot more fun. Anyways, I would clock into Subway every day from 4 to 9:30 p.m. and from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. on weekends, and I would put in my shift, and I liked the shop a lot because I would be able to see a ton of different people and talk to different people every day, and I won't lie, I think that this was able to really increase my social skills as a result over time. So I ultimately stayed at Subway for 6 years, but there were points where I cut back on Subway and started to work other jobs as well, and so my next job was as a teacher's assistant at my school. Honestly, this was a pretty incredible job. A professor paid me to assist in teaching his course at my college, and he was a really nice guy, and it was a great course that I really enjoyed. All I really did was grade assignments for the professor, and I would make some homework assignments as well, and if anybody in the class ever had any questions, I would just be there to answer them. I got pretty lucky with this job. The professor asked me because I did well in the class, and for the pay, it honestly wasn't much work, so if you're in college, I'd recommend trying out being a teacher's assistant for a semester. I liked it a lot, honestly. And this was actually the job that helped me save up for my first car ever. Shout out the Nissan Altima. I love that car. And I used that car to do my next job, which was ultimately DoorDash, and I did that job for 3 days. I'm not gonna lie, I really thought that I was gonna like this job going into it. I mean, all I had to do was sit in my car, go to places, listen to music, drop off food. Like, it seemed like the life. But literally on my first day, I realized how boring I would get driving around and just picking up food and dropping it off. And so many times I would get lost trying to find customers, and I would have to stop for gas. It was a nightmare for me. I just didn't enjoy it. But honestly, none of that was really that bad until I got an order from Chipotle. Now, this was a $12 order, and I kid you not, I was standing at Chipotle for 50 minutes trying to get this customer's food. And there was also like 30 other DoorDash drivers that were trying to get food as well. And I just realized in that moment that it wasn't for me, and so I canceled the order, and I decided that DoorDash just was not for me. And well, I started to put more time into the Subway, and lo and behold, I was still just trying stuff out, and all of a sudden, I found TikTok, and I just made videos not even expecting anything of it, and well, that ended up naturally becoming my job somehow. Now, I don't know if there's anything to learn from this. I think that I got extremely lucky. Even with a ton of hard work, the reality is that things like that don't really happen that often, but I do believe that if you're just trying out different things, eventually you're going to be able to find whatever it is that you love doing too. And even if it's not like the craziest job in the world, if you can make a living doing something that you love, I think that's the best possible way to live your life. My path wasn't a straight line. I'm sure yours won't be either, but just don't worry. It'll work out. Just keep trying things and work hard. And I want you to know that like everybody's figuring it out. I'm figuring it out. Your favorite people in the world are figuring it out. Literally everybody that you know is trying to figure it out, but you got this. I love you. YouTube thinks you'll like this video next, so feel free to watch it, like, comment, and subscribe for more, and have a great day.